All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Man, if there's one thing that you could say is that Xbox always keeps it interesting, you know. Huge news today in the gaming world. Um, Forza Horizon 5 officially dropping on PlayStation. And to me, this kind of changes it changes a lot of perceptions, right? Um, it really does. So I'm gonna talk about it. Um, and if anyone wants to join, feel free. Let me make sure we good. All right, yeah, we good. All right, yeah, man. So this was a huge shocker. I was in the middle of work, and then actually, what, Rock put it in a group chat, and I didn't even pay attention to it. I just saw Forza Horizon. I just kept going. I didn't notice that it was coming to PlayStation, right? Um, and then I saw that 100, the homie 100 went live a couple hours ago, and he was talking about it, and I'm like, huh, Forza Horizon contemplation, holy cow, right? Because this is a big deal. Forza is one of Xbox premier franchises. You know what I'm saying? And Forza Horizon 5 is a now what 4-year old game. Came out in 2021, and and so today I want to talk about Forza Horizon coming to PlayStation 5, Forza Horizon 5 coming to PlayStation 5, and man, I'll say this, man, when Xbox and Microsoft, when they want to move fast, they'll move fast because it feels like just a few months ago, right? Phil was saying that there are no red lines. Matter of fact, yeah, he said that there are no red lines with their games. Um, about their games going elsewhere. Let me. I ain't getting rid of no ad blocker. And so yeah, man. And so just a few months later, matter of fact, back in November, Phil did an interview about saying there are no red lines for games to come to PlayStation and Nintendo. And man, he moved fast. He moved fast on this one. So this tells me that Forza Horizon. I'm very curious about this. I wonder how long it takes for these games to be developed for other consoles that were already on Xbox, right? I don't know if it takes months, if it takes a year, if it's almost as simple as flipping a switch and hitting up the Nintendo or Sony and be like, hey, we want to put this game in your platform. I don't know how it works. I wish I did. I wish I had insider information on this one. Uh, because stuff like this, stuff like this is huge. And although I haven't seen the reaction, this is one of those situations where you could predict the reaction, right? A lot of Xbox is dead. A lot of people who sold their Xbox for the 50th time. That I guarantee that's the reaction to a lot of this. Um, for me, I've always been a bit more practical. But this right here, one thing it is huge is that it means that when he said no red lines, that was a literal statement. So if you never listen, I'm one of those people. I never thought in a million years I'd see Forza going to PlayStation or Gears or Halo. You could scratch that off now. You listen. I could 100% now see a situation of the Master Chief Collection or Halo Infinite getting a PlayStation release or something after the day. How could you not? I mean, it was one thing when it was, the Sea of Thieves. Uh, games like Sea of Thieves or Grounded or something. But Forza going to PlayStation, now that's a game changer right there. Yo, what's up, Coco Fiend? The homie Coco Fiend, man. Hey, I hope you're doing good. Yeah, man. I'm just talking about this. It's official. Forza Horizon 5 going to PlayStation 5. Um, it came out, news came out today, and so I had to give my 2 cents on this. Because yeah, this is undoubtedly huge news, right? Because look, to me, this is the equivalent of if Gran Turismo would come to PlayStation, the Xbox. I mean, right? And so I guess what we're looking at here, Coco Fiend, is that the changing of the guard is here, and it feels like it's happening faster than we could ever, you know, than a lot of us would have ever thought. Because again, I would have never seen this happening. And he said, "Oh, I'm doing all right. I seen this news. I'm on the fence with the direction on for Xbox. I see both sides. Yeah, agreed 100% on that too, Coco Fiend. Because here's the thing, it's no secret, and I talked about this months ago, maybe a year ago by now. It's been a minute. Phil have slowly kind of been preparing us Xbox gamers in the gaming world of Xbox having less and less exclusives. Um, Potentially no exclusives. If you know what I'm saying, and so like again, like I said a few minutes ago, Coco Fiend, it's one thing if it was when it was Sea of Thieves or Grounded or Hi-Fi Rush, right? Then you could wrap your head around it. Before it going to PlayStation, this one's big. This one's big, and understandably, not everybody's gonna like it. I understand how anyone will feel on this one, good or bad on either side. I ain't mad at you because look, I was upset a year ago around this time a year ago. I was legitimately pissed off, upset when Phil lied about no, it wasn't a year ago. It was about 5, 6 months ago when Phil lied about Indiana Jones going to PlayStation. Because you remember, and that's when everybody tried to argue semantics. Oh, he didn't mean at this very moment. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's bullshit. And since then, Phil has been on a huge campaign talking about, look, no red lines and more games will be going elsewhere and there will be less exclusives in the future. And he's trying to be the driving force of that. Now, when more people come in, I will want to ask the question because I'd love to get the chat started on this. On what does this mean for the Xbox, the console side specifically? Because I'm assuming that y'all like Coco Fiend, y'all tongue tie. A lot of y'all like me, the game on Xbox, the console itself. You're not really a PC guy. You're not a PlayStation guy. You're not a Nintendo guy. You're Xbox guy, right? And and so and so and so for the Xbox console specifically, I do think that a move like this means that there will be less Xbox consoles sold, right? No Xbox console, and and like no Xbox console, right? Is going to sell more than the 360 or Xbox One going forward. It's logically, it's a hard sell, I think, to like a lot of people, consumers. Coco thing, right? I think it's a hard sell for a lot of people to say, hey, on the PlayStation, you get all the Xbox games and the PlayStation exclusives and whatever the case. Because so far the PlayStation games have went to PC, and while I do think more PlayStation games will come to Xbox eventually, like how Lego Horizon went to Nintendo Switch, it's not going to be as fast as the way Xbox is doing it. So Coco Fiend said, "Yeah, I understand it's good for the devs and money wise, but it's a reciprocation for me. Is PlayStation Nintendo going to do the same thing with IPs?" Excellent question. And that what, Coco Fiend, that's always been one of my stances too. I'd be cool with in a world of no exclusives if Nintendo and Sony were putting their games on Xbox as well. Then at that point, it's like, cool. Hey, if you're a Mario fan and you play Mario on your Xbox, and but it to me as a consumer, I'll take that any day. Like, well, Mario's not really my. For example, no, I'm gonna use a game that I like, Bayonetta. I love Bayonetta. I think the Bayonetta trilogy are some of my favorite action games ever. Love Bayonetta, the character, love the gameplay, love everything about it. I hate that Bayonetta is locked to the Switch. So if there's ever a situation where, so if Nintendo would do the same thing and Sony was on board, and we just lived in this world where if you're on Nintendo, you want to play Horizon, on Nintendo or Halo on Nintendo with your Mario, cool. I could live with that if all three console makers were in the same top. But that's not what's happening, right? It's not the case, at least right now. And what's up, Tool Man? Thank you for joining. And yes, and so that's not what's happening right now. At least at this current moment, January 30th, 2025, the situation is Sony's gonna keep paying for their games off Xbox. Um, they're going to be super slow, if any games hit Xbox. While Xbox is gladly putting their games everywhere, and Phil could, and I believe there's an interview where Phil said something. I'm paraphrasing here, on the likes of he wants Xbox console to sell based off the merit of what the console features. That's good in theory, but I don't think. Listen, the only problem with that, and look, I'm not bitching and moaning. I'm not selling my Xbox. I'm just throwing out my thoughts, and all I can do is be honest with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit here and be such a. I may be an Xbox fan, but I'm not a lapdog. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them lapdog fans who's just not going to ever push back against anything. And so while it's cool, while Phil's vision is cool, they're like, hey, because that's how it is with cell phones, right? Um, I got a Samsung phone. Why did I choose Samsung over, say, Google Pixel? I like Samsung. Samsung, you know what I'm saying? The Samsung phone, may have, say, better camera, whatever the case is. But let's be real, your Android phone is going to have the same apps no matter what brand you choose. And so that's kind of the vibe I got from Phil's latest interview. Um, and I want to do a reaction to it. I just don't have the time, unfortunately. But but yeah, Coco Fiend, I'm with you. I'm with you right there, man. As a like, here's the thing. I may be an Xbox guy, but I'm a consumer first, and so I care more about where my money's going than being loyal to Xbox. Now, with that said, I own hundreds, maybe maybe pushing 1,000 games on Xbox overall between the four generations of Xbox. So to that extent, I ain't going nowhere. But 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 um but my establishment with Xbox, if if Xbox, for example, doesn't have any exclusive, and with the next Xbox console, and everything's on PlayStation or Nintendo day one, right? my The thing that's going to keep me on Xbox is that I'm already established with the brand. I got hundreds and hundreds of games on there. I love the controller. So what Phil said about the features on that stuff is working for me. But can you sell it to the people outside of Xbox, right? And would and that's where I don't. That's why I'm not sure if a Game Pass subscription alone is strong enough to carry somebody buying a console. And guys, they've confirmed time and time again they're still making another Xbox. I don't think the hardware is going away for a long time. I listen. If it ever goes away, I'll probably be in my fucking 50s by then. You know what I'm saying? So that part, you're not gonna see me be like, oh, this means no more consoles and whatever stupid shit someone else might be saying on their podcast today. But yeah, man. But yeah, I'm glad you see my point there, Coco Fiend. And yeah, I'm with you right here, man. I'm not 100% sure where this is going to go. All I can do is be on the ride because I don't work for Microsoft. I don't have the power to change. And realistically, I know, excuse me, I know speaking my mind on this podcast, Phil ain't going, even if this comes across Phil's ears, he ain't going to fuck that. That dude is not going to listen to my ass and be like, oh, limited production, man. I have a point. Let's reverse course. That's just not going to happen. But yeah, Forza Horizon comes to PlayStation 5 in spring 2025. Uh, and this is what's crazy. This is what's crazy. One of the crazy aspects to me about this. Forza is not a game that needs it. As you see here, Forza Horizon 5 surpassed 43 million players, and that was back on January 5th, right? So this is just Xbox being like, fuck it. This is just Xbox being like, "Fuck it, man. We're uh, uh we're gonna push out a new initiative whether you like it or not." A part of me respects that, but again, the business side of me, the part of me that loves economics and business, all that shit, kind of respect that. But the consumer side of me is like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be hard to change the mentality of the way console gamers buy consoles. Other Zink said, "What's up, Zink? Hey, Zink, if you want to join, let me know. I know that you're tending to your mom's right now. But if you have free time, I'll shoot you a link." But others said the Xbox console isn't going anywhere. Sony's PlayStation, on the other hand, I don't know. You're right. Xbox console's not going anywhere, and that's one of that's why. Listen, I'm not going to even for a second pretend, even pretend that this means the death of the Xbox console. Oh, and hell, I'm not even sure if there's an interview. I swear, every interview anyone from Microsoft does anymore, they confirm more consoles, and so I don't need to beat that dead horse. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to beat that dead horse at all, man. Um, but so yeah, and then Sony, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Don't let this news. See, this is an Xbox channel, so I'm gonna talk about my Xbox news first. That's what I care about. But don't let that stop you from her. What's that dude name? Herman Helms being replaced as CEO. They got quote unquote retirements over there and staff layoffs over at Den Studios. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Sony's over there swimming in fucking gold right now. It's just that the gaming media don't talk about all their fucking execs over there. I think they had, I kid you not, I think they had what 6 or 7 leadership changes at the top these last decade alone. So these execs aren't even lasting 2 years on average, Zink. And think about it. Think about it, man. Dude, imagine if on average every 1.5 years Xbox has a new head of Xbox. That's what it's like over there on Sony. But yeah, man. But back to Forza Horizon. And I had big money, big B money. He said Elise P got a super racing game. I think he said, at least PlayStation got a super racing game now. Yeah, yeah. You know what'd be funny? Um, you know what'd be funny? If Forza Horizon end up doing better than Gran Turismo on there, that'd be pretty funny. You know, it probably would. You know. By the way, do you guys think that hey okay, that's cool. Hey, do you guys think that there's anybody rooting for these games to fail? Right? Do you think there's some Xbox dude right now being like, man, I hope this shit don't sell so that we could keep our games exclusives? I think even if the game don't sell, because again, the game had like 43 million players before even going to PlayStation. I don't listen. Yo, they Xbox, man, they got a plan and they gonna push forward with it whether you like it or not. You know, and this is why I preach for the last few months. I've been preaching around, you know, getting out of the console war mindset, because of something like this. Something like this was bound to happen, where a game like Forza, and hell, maybe it's maybe it's good it was Forza first and not Halo. Because if Halo was first announced, I think that would have been just too chaotic, right? You know that might be too chaotic, man. Um, all right, but yeah, but still, you know, I'd also like to get your guys' thoughts on this. Everybody in the chat, too. I know Coco things like he's on the fence. Yeah, because this is a very different direction. You know, I mean, I guess historically, people will point to Sega, but Sega was driven out of the console market at all. Altogether. You know, Xbox is not driven out the console market. Again, they're always confirming they're still making Xbox. Zink said the Xbox division is saving PlayStation like Microsoft saved Apple in the '90s. Yeah, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. The reason why I don't think they're saving PlayStation is that I don't think putting a handful of games is going to fix PlayStation situation. Okay, you get a handful of Xbox games. that so far they put what like 6 or 7 games on there. Yeah, that ain't saving their asses thing. Maybe Call of Duty might be the only one. Keeping Call of Duty on PlayStation might be the only one that did them any favors, right? But other than that, Zink, man, uh, no, I hear that a lot, right? How when these games are saving PlayStation, I don't listen. Uh, to me, this is like putting a band-aid on a gun wound. Um, yeah, yeah, you can put as much band-aids as you want, but if you don't go into surgery and get that bullet removed and get that thing patched up, you ain't going nowhere. And PlayStation, you know, look, PlayStation, they don't have games. They ain't releasing nothing. They got nothing down the pop line. They ain't doing no fucking showcases. And I don't care that they showed one game at the Game Awards. That's not coming out until 2027. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that means nothing to me. Uh, but this, yeah, Xbox putting Forza officially on PlayStation. I think you could pretty much check. Look, Halo eventually be there. Gears, like no friend. Yo, when Phil said that there are no red lines, that was even more literal than I would have thought. You know what I'm saying? Big B said, but the trick is that great racing game is ponies, but it's going to pay Xbox more money. That's a WW for PlayStation and Xbox. Yeah, 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 definitely Big B. You know, because this game gonna be $70 on PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? And all that most of that revenue is gonna go to Xbox, and it's just gonna be more in Xbox pocket, right? Now I will say this: I know a lot of Xbox fans are gonna be like, okay, but are we really reaping the benefits of all this money going to Xbox if games are gonna go everywhere? Because again, and this is something that I think a lot of longtime Xbox fans, at least those who were there around 2013 and dealt with all the bullshit of last generation, despite all of us who loved the Xbox One, I can see a lot of them feeling this way. All right, Xbox finally gets studios. They finally get games, right? And they could finally have the greatest list of exclusives ever. And now they are putting all the fucking games on PlayStation. You know, I know that drives some because listen, I was a fucking in 2013. I was as close to neutral as it got. I was all hyped for that Xbox One. And I was getting shit. So I could imagine what the people who were really fighting these console wars a decade plus ago, 12 years ago. Wow, it's been that long. 12 years ago might could probably feel a little like, yo, we couldn't get our victory lap. Well, I still think you're getting a victory lap on Xbox. I don't think this changed the fact that Xbox is the best platform to play on. Game Pass is the best subscription. Games are extremely affordable, and Xbox got the best controller and whatnot. But this one of the days where I could see both sides of it. I listen. I ain't mad at you. Oh, Big B at his girl's house. That's what's up, man. Well, don't let me hold you up. Yo, don't let me hold you up with your girl, man. But I'm glad you're here, Big B. But yeah, this is one of the situations where I could see both sides of it. It's just that your Born Living production has never been the type to overreact. You know what I'm saying? If something happens, I try to process my thoughts through it. You know what I'm saying? I try to get my thoughts out there, make sense of it, and I can accept change. So some of the stuff is just it's almost like it is what it is. What can you do? Um, Hey, Gogo Paul, what's up, man? I'll get to your comment in a section. And Zeke said, I agree with you there Unlimited. Sony has internal mismanagement issues. Yeah, man, they've had a lot of execs. Oh, listen, at the top of the food chain, they've had a lot of mismanagement this last decade. I could only imagine, and now where they had to release a fucking $700 console last year. Their former exec admitted that PlayStation VR was a mistake. And PSVR was one of the things they used to argue us about, even though we told y'all it was a gimmick and nobody was buying that shit. You know, that, so everything comes to light, and I do think that the Xbox leadership feels like they're genuinely trying to do the best for the Xbox brand, right? Uh, Coco Fiend said, but my concern is, what if someone says PlayStation like Apple and whomever and turn it around crazy? I don't know. Uh, it yeah, I don't know if that would happen. I'll be real with you. I don't know if that should have happened. You know, Coco Fiend. I think if you heard anybody talk about Apple picking up Sony, that's to me that's more wishful thinking than actual reality. I mean, to be fair, we're in the never say never era of gaming because I would have never thought that the Xbox was putting Forza Horizon on fucking PlayStation. Even after Phil said Coco Fiend, no games had red lines. I'm like, yeah, yeah, they're gonna put more games. It is what it is. But I wasn't thinking like the big boys, they're Forza Gears Halo level games. But nah, they like we gonna full steam ahead. And but with that said, Coco Fiend, yeah, man, nah, I don't know if Apple jumps in, says PlayStation, and turn it around, and even if Apple buys PlayStation, do they have the infrastructure? Do they have the people? Do they have the knowledge? Do they have the care to even turn PlayStation around? And plus, what would turning PlayStation around look like? Because let's say Apple buys PlayStation, Coco Fiend, that doesn't guarantee. Oh yes, all right, he bought. Yeah, I'm about to send you a link. Coco Fiend, that doesn't guarantee that that they would like. Hold on, let me collect myself here. Um, yeah, so if Apple buys PlayStation, that doesn't guarantee that the Apple will let PlayStation continue to run the way it's run. Because they would let if they're buying if if PlayStation was doing so bad, Sony had to sell it or however that would work for Apple to get PlayStation. I mean, Apple would do what a lot of American companies do and try to way to get it to grow. And so if it's sold, then they would think, all right, this is something that can sell, but it's not doing well right now. You know what I'm saying? All right, Hebot, I sent you the link, my friend. And he said, granted, I know that would take a lot to save PlayStation right now. Yeah, yeah. And like I said, man, like I was trying to say, but I did get a little tongue tied, not sure if I got my thoughts across properly. Even if somebody saved PlayStation, it's no guarantee that means PlayStation will all of a sudden do what Xbox has done, right? And started buying publishers or 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 just hoard games and keep it on PlayStation. They'll so Apple would probably most likely put their own people who probably don't know shit about gaming or don't really care about gaming or only or do what all companies trying to do and give it quote unquote infinite growth or some shit. Like it would be a very different PlayStation from even what we're seeing now. And this current PlayStation sucks. Big B said, I think it'd be more benefits Xbox. I think it benefits Xbox more. I think he's saying more deals for Xbox fans and more great and big games and value what Xbox has. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are definitely going to be some benefits. I think financial benefits. It's just that Big B, like I said, listen, gamers have been trained. It's going to be different. It's going to be tough to me, at least at first, to train gamers to say, hey, look, because forever gamers have bought a console for the exclusive, or at least a large percentage have. Now, to be fair, over the last decade, that has changed. The best-selling games, other than I think on Nintendo or multiplayer, and even on Nintendo, shit like Minecraft would be one of the best-selling games, right? So it's not like every best-selling Nintendo game each year is an exclusive. Even that don't happen with them. But still, there's still a large percent of people who bought Xbox for Halo, who bought PlayStation for I don't know God of War, some shit, who bought Nintendo for Mario and Zelda, right? And those are the people who's going to be hard to train. And then hell, maybe Xbox don't even care. You know what I'm saying? For all we know, I mean, actually from the way that they be talking, I don't even think they care that much, right? Um, if the next Xbox sells 30 million units, they probably be like, cool, whatever. Um, as long as they could, and then as long as they could get Game Pass to more people, however they can. And again, I don't work for Microsoft, so all this stuff is just an assumption. And I did send you the link. Gargle Post said, I prefer Xbox One over PlayStation 4. I just don't like most of the Sony exclusives. Yeah, same here, man. Same here. Love the Xbox One, loving the Series X. Um, and look, we're all adults. And so if we want to, and that's the thing, if we want to play on PlayStation, I think we all would have a long time ago. Now, to be fair, again, if I went to Coco Fiend and said, "Hey, would you buy an Xbox console? You get Game Pass and all their games day one, or would you get a PlayStation where you get all the PlayStation games, a lot of Xbox games, but you have to pay for them? Which one would you prefer?" I think that's legitimately good question, and I'm curious what people would think. Bigby said for Xbox, the best in Game Pass is great. Yep, Game Pass is the goat, man. Big B said, it's just more games and more content for Xbox fans and new big games and IPs and value for the Xbox Army. Yeah, yeah, no doubt. No, and that's one of the things that we're seeing now, right, Big B? Because look, this week alone, last Thursday, Ninja Gaiden Black Stealth drop. A couple of days ago, Eternal Strands Day One. Today, Sniper Elite Resistance Day One Game Pass. So we're getting fed, man, on Xbox. We got it good. You know what I'm saying? It's just that again, I'm very very curious how the optics would look, right? When if or when we could almost kind of say when Halo's on PlayStation and how things would turn out that way. And Coco said very true. I guess it's just things because it's not getting replicated right now. Yeah, 100% Coco thing, and that's the thing that I think is going to I think that's the thing that's going to bother people the most. Oh, Xbox fans the most, right? Um, you know, you go up to the Xbox One generation. You couldn't just enjoy your games in peace. I remember. Listen, I remember posting gameplay of like State of Decay 2, right? I'll post gameplay of State of Decay 2, and I remember specifically people giving me shit for liking the game, loving the game. Uh, you know what I'm saying? And and that's and so now fast forward all these years later, and Xbox, Xbox got all the studios, all the games. I think Xbox fans just wanted to have that few years, generation of, hey, look at all the games that's only on Xbox. Fuck you, PlayStation guys that was giving us hell. Because they were annoying as shit, man. They really were. GTA 6 gonna blow the biggest roof off at no P Diddy mansion. The pony PlayStation no game. Oh no game is touching GTA 6. Matter of fact, Big B, wasn't there an article last year about how a lot of game developers are waiting to see GTA 6 release date so they could purposely avoid it? GTA 6 is a different beast, man. Yeah, it's annoying. And then you have to hear it from the ponies nonstop. Yeah, that's the part that bothers people, man. It's hearing it from the ponies because they annoying, and they'll show up in a heartbeat, and they'll raid your comment section. They'll comment on your channel at like 3 in the morning just to fucking console war. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to hear that shit. No, nobody want to deal with that shit. And what can you say back? Well, I mean, it's a lot you can say back, because we still got the better fucking console, and Xbox is actually doing something called releasing games. But still, you're gonna hear that shit. But yeah, that's where thick skin comes in. Block that shit out. Tell them go fuck themselves and move on. Oh, Shizno, the homie Shizno Lee is here. He said Xbox is the best place it's ever been, IMO. Just because games are going to other platforms doesn't bother me. I'm still playing on my Xbox. That's my favorite platform. Much respect to Shizno. And that's a good mentality to have. You know what I'm saying? That's a good mentality. And where I'm with you there is that, yeah, I'm still playing on my Xbox. That's not changing anytime soon. I'm not going to all of a sudden jump ship to fucking PlayStation because Horizon went there or Sea of Thieves went there. That's just not going to fucking happen. You know what I'm saying? And then for me personally, I don't care enough about PlayStation exclusives to get that upset. Yeah, I'm one of those Xbox fans. I'm one of those Xbox fans who generally don't sit there and see a PlayStation game like, oh, I must play it. Oh, I am dying. Like what Ryan McCaffrey used to say. Xbox fans are dying for a God of War. Not me. I never gave a shit. And then when I got a PlayStation and finally played God of War, I was actually disappointed because it wasn't nearly as fucking good as people were making it seem. So I'm one of those people. But let's just know I'm not disrespecting. I'm not upset at, and nor will I argue for people like Coco for like, look, I'm on the fence on this because I get it because this is a huge change. This is a huge change for Xbox to put one of their heavy hitters on PlayStation, and even with Xbox, Microsoft, Phil Spencer specifically warning us for months, right? It still wasn't easy to swallow. Yeah, but we know that their games is coming over too. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think more there are going to be more PlayStation games hit Xbox as well. Oh man, Eternal Strands is really good. Yeah, I haven't been able to start it yet, but I was going to start it tonight. Just though, now that I finally got time to play some games, I was going to start it tonight. It looks so fun. It looks so fun, man. I love games like that. Me too. Y'all know Bethesda's software owns Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah, well, no. Microsoft sold the IP to Hi-Fi Rush when they so I forgot who owned it now, but they don't. Bethesda don't own it anymore. Actually, it's funny. Xbox has become the best and biggest publisher, yet we still hear how Xbox is dead. Yeah. Oh no. We ain't doing the Xbox dead shit, man. We're just having a discussion of what does Xbox looks like going forward. Hey, Heatbot, if you're listening, I sent you the link. If you don't join soon, man, because I'm probably gonna go about an hour or so. But yes, just know this ain't an Xbox is dead topic. Xbox is gonna be fine as it is. It's just that this is such a huge change in the industry and how we see Xbox going forward that I think it's worth discussing. I think it's worth discussing because y'all good people, man. I know that y'all love your Xboxes, y'all love gaming, and so I know it's very very easy to feel some sort of way when Forza Horizon goes to the PlayStation. But there are PlayStation fans who I meant not PlayStation. There are Xbox fans who don't own a PlayStation, don't have the money to drop $500 or $700 on a PlayStation that might want to play a Spider-Man game, and they're going to get that anytime soon. And that could rub them the wrong way. Because again, guys, I want y'all to be consumers first before you're brand loyalists. And the reason why I say that, even though I love Xbox owns hundreds of Xbox games, is that when you're a brand loyalist, you end up like them Sony fanboys who sound freaking ridiculous, justify literally everything Sony does, no matter how bad or stupid it is. Meanwhile, on Xbox, yeah, I'm be have construction criticism when you have it. You know what I'm saying? Have your construction criticism. What y'all do, that's what I give y'all a lot of credit for. Uh, because to me that makes the brand better than to just be yes men towards Xbox and never, just take whatever crap. Like if Xbox, if we just took whatever crap Xbox gave us, it'll just I would legitimately hate if Xbox was PlayStation 5 right now. I would because I wouldn't have Game Pass. I wouldn't have all the studios. I wouldn't have all these cool games. There'd be none of that, right? And so even with Xbox putting games on PlayStation, if Xbox was PlayStation right now, I would be miserable because it's like, okay, why do I have this thing if Sony is also doing the same exact thing and that shit's not good? But Heatbot, the world's most powerful gamer, you here?
Hey, brother, what's going on?
Yeah. Hey, thank you for joining. Yeah, man. I don't know.
What's up?
Yeah, man. So I wanted to get your thoughts because I was at, E-Rock put this in the chat earlier, and I actually didn't even know. I just saw Forza Horizon. I went about my business. I'm working, right? And so when 100 went live about 2 hours ago, and he talked about, and so that's when I really noticed. And then I went back to the group chat, like, oh, wait a minute, Forza Horizon going to PlayStation. So I had to talk about this, get my thoughts. But since you're here, I'd like to get your thoughts as well, because we've been having a good discussion about it today, and I know if anybody was in the trenches today, it was you, because I know you. Meanwhile, my ass is at work, ignorant as hell to everything going on. So let me get your thoughts on this, and I'm gonna pass the mic to you.
Well, I wasn't able to hear everything you were saying about it first. I don't like that Microsoft, like I said, is trying to help the company, right? That pretty much has destroyed the gaming industry culturally, right? As we know it, right? As we know it culturally. And what I mean by that is that the PlayStation market is mainly based off casuals, right? A big majority. Not all, but a big majority.
Yeah, you remember, listen, just to quote what you said in your latest video, PlayStation is the iPhone of gaming, basically.
Yes, it's the iPhone of gaming, right? So basically, and thank you for the shameless plug. So basically, I don't like the idea that they're saving a company that doesn't deserve to be saved. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But it almost feels to me like Microsoft they don't know when enough is enough as far as money goes, right? And that could be a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
Because all kingdoms fall at some point, right?
Yeah.
But I also think that this is coming from the higher ups, right? Like Satya Nadella and that lady and the other dude that worked.
Amy Ford and all
Amy Ford and the other gentleman that do the business money and stuff. Because if you saw yesterday, it's funny how they just announced it today, when just yesterday they said that 64% of their earnings in this quarter from October to January, they had 64% of their sales and gains was from PlayStation. And we all know that's mainly due to
the Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, right? For some reason, I guess the people on the higher up are thinking that exclusives, right, that are there are also going to make this type of money, right? Because if we're going to look at it from a financial standpoint, it don't make no sense to put Forza because it doesn't need it. Forza Horizon has like 40 plus million players.
43 million as of January 2025. Right.
Which tells you it doesn't need nobody else to help it. But at the same time, you get it, the game is old, right? Or older. Then you also got to take it almost feels like they're trolling because we all know that Gran Turismo didn't do well on PlayStation, right? So I'm thinking what they're thinking is, well, if Gran Turismo didn't sell and they always and we have accolades based on Forza Horizon, the series in particular, and you know they're not going to buy an Xbox because they're just stuck on their ecosystem. If we give them Forza, the older one, right? Let's see what kind of numbers it brings based on what we do, right? To see if it does big numbers, even though it's older, based on the fact that it's a well-received game, right? So it tells me one of two things, which either that means a new Forza Horizon 6 is going to come this year for us, right? Or that could be one possibility. So they're trying to, gain ground and see if they could motivate people to come on Xbox One or Series X rather, and buy the new Forza once they try this one because they played it on their PlayStation and realized I can play it on Game Pass. You see what I'm trying to?
Yeah.
Or they're just trying to make money off the older games that had success to put it towards newer stuff they're going to do.
Yeah.
We can look at it either way because even if it was for both reasons, then it makes sense business-wise.
Right.
And again, I understand it's a business. I understand everything now is more expensive. But Microsoft doesn't need Sony's money.
Yeah.
They don't need Nintendo money.
Yeah, and that's all I talk about. Oh, Devil Shooter. Devil Shooter. I'm gonna give you credit in a second because we used to debate about that. But I'll give you credit when you're right. You're right about these games going. But he bought. That's what I was saying before you got in. And it's kind of this thing of, all right, the business, the part of me who likes economics and business and all that stuff. I respect this whole, we got a vision, we're going to implement it, but as a consumer, and I understand when if Xbox fans kind of feel this way, you know what I'm saying, where let me ask you this, and I'm asking the chat the same thing. Yeah. Except for you, Devil Shooter, because you're a PC dude now. All right, so all right, Devil Shooter. But seriously though, so I'm asking you this, and I'm asking the chat the same thing. Yeah. If I came to you, the next generation, and it's like, all right, you could get the next Xbox. Let's say $500, and it comes, Game Pass, all games day one, this and that, or the next PlayStation, $500. You get all the PlayStation games and the Xbox games that went there. What is the better sell for you as a consumer? I'm not 100% sure what the answer is, right? And so that's why I'm asking you this. I'd like to get your thoughts on that.
Sure.
What would be the better sell?
Well, what's going to happen is that obviously the people that have established the library on Xbox, like me and you, right? We're not going to blink. We're not going to go to PlayStation to reestablish our library. You see what I'm saying? We're just going to do what we've always done. If we want to play an exclusive that doesn't come to Xbox, we'll buy it on PlayStation. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's number one. Or Nintendo. But if they're thinking that they're going to just bring people over next generation that are new, I don't know how it'll work unless the thought process is, if we give them these games on their ecosystem now, right? And they see how good our games are on the ecosystem. Once we offer our next console, that'll be probably the most powerful console for sure, because you saw that Phil said he was tired of doing new generations of consoles, and they're really not a leap or change. They don't feel that much difference, the evolution. He said he wants the evolution to feel drastic. You heard him in the right? Which tells me they're really going balls to the wall with the next console. They're trying to make a console just as powerful as a PC or more powerful than a PC, like they did with 360. That's what I think the mindset is right now, right? And we all know they're not going to do the $1,000 mark, because he also said, I don't think it's smart to do $1,000 console.
Yeah. That ain't going to sell.
So we're thinking maybe 600 to 700, right? Will be the selling point, right? So if that console is offering you back forward compatibility with everything you own, like peripherals, your game library, all the exclusive day and date on Game Pass, clearly it's the better sell. Because even if you bought a PlayStation, having the ability to have all the games plus theirs, you still got to pay out of pocket.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's going to depend on the person's position financially, right? Because we just played Stalker, Hellblade 2, Indiana Jones. We got Ninja Gaiden Black, About, South of Midnight, Doom, Expedition 23, Eternal Prey, Sniper Elite. We just got all that and didn't pay a dime extra.
Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So as a smart consumer, you look at that, you're like, fuck. Yeah, their exclusives are going somewhere else. But damn, I could play all those games just by paying a subscription service a month. Because I'm going to be honest, with that value, even if you paid $40 a month for Game Pass, it's still it's still worth it. Right. It doesn't matter. It's worth it. You can't argue that. Because if you tallied up all the fucking prices of those games at $75 each, or $50 or $60, we're talking about almost $1,000 in those games alone. But you just saved yourself $1,000 and still were able to play all those games the first day they released. Right? So my thing on it is, are they trying to put more games this generation, since they're not selling more consoles the way that Sony is, to see if they can entice their fan base to realize, fuck, they got good games, and I'm paying $70 over here on whatever that Sony gives me and whatever they give me. But if I get an Xbox, I can just get Game Pass and save myself the money and be able to buy my games on PlayStation and still play their games. Does that make sense?
Right.
That's how I think they're thinking, how the upper echelon's thinking and feel and whatever. Because they feel like we're not going to force them, and they're not going to come to buy an Xbox, because if they would, or if they were going to do that, they would have done it. So at the same time, they're proving and they're exposing that all this time has been a bunch of hypocrisy. Because you just saw, which I thought was crazy, and I could put it on there if you want to put it up on screen, where Sea of Thieves just literally surpassed the sales of Astro Bot.
That's right.
So that means it almost sold, like Erod said earlier, in the podcast, right, that we did the other day, it almost passed the 2 million mark on PlayStation.
Hold on, time out. You said Sea of Thieves outsold Astrobot?
Yes.
All right. Yeah,
You want me to send it to you? I'll send it to you.
Yeah, let me find that article. Yeah, go ahead and send it to me,
No.
I'll get that article.
I'm trying to see if I can send you through here. If I can send you the pic through here.
Yeah, you should be able to text it to me at least. Big B said Xbox is a great masterpiece in gaming right now. Yeah, man. Look, Xbox does a lot right. You know what I'm saying? It's just when stuff like this happens, I think we should talk about it. Because like I said, we don't want to be like the Sony fanboys who just justify every fucking thing.
For sure.
Don't have no critical thinking towards the brand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm against it. I'm not happy that they're doing this.
Yeah,
because this is their flagship. This is one of the flagship titles.
Yeah,
this is a flagship title.
Yeah, and to me, this does now the idea of Gears or Halo, even if it's like Halo Master Chief Collection,
you can't take it off the table, right?
Yeah. You
can't because it's gonna make us look stupid because if they're going, before it was super successful, that means they'll just put anything.
Right. Yeah. And so an Xbox brand without any real official. I mean, because if Forza goes, you literally can't roll out nothing anymore. For the longest, specifically with the homie Devil Shooter, that's my dude. But he would be on here saying, "Nah, any game would go," and I'm like, "Nah, man, they ain't gonna do Halo." They said this, but that's another thing.
To be fair, our judgment has always been based on the reality of what was said. Yeah. What they said is they're flat. They said, first party exclusives that identify the brand, which is Xbox, are not things that we need to put anywhere.
Yeah.
Phil was quoted on record saying Xbox without Halo being the definitive force driving it forward will die. He said it himself.
Yeah.
That's why I said, and you said, I doubted they'll ever put any of their flagship titles. Or maybe that's why they put Forza, because although Forza is a flagship title, it's just a racing game. That's a possibility. No. But again,
and even that, I don't think. I ripped the Band-Aid off today. For me, it's like, all right, I could see Halo going. I could see Gears going.
Right. You have every right to, because there's no way.
And then there's nothing Phil could say going forward that would have me think.
Exactly. And you saw he said on the Dustin the Gary interview, "Oh no, I said red line as an answer, but that definitely doesn't mean that all games. No, we will still have exclusives." And what I'm thinking is,
and I think that's true. It's just that this is what I think. This is what I think is going to be very common going forward. A lot of games that are years old are going to go to PlayStation.
Yeah, I was about to say that, my brother. Yeah. I'm having a feeling that they're going to keep everything that's newer, like the new Gears, the new Halo, the new, like you see a Valve is exclusive. You see Starfield is still exclusive. You see that South of Midnight is exclusive. You see what I'm saying?
In 2029, Avowed is going to go to PlayStation.
Right. That's what I think is their strategy, or what they're thinking. Right. Which is still good for us, but at the same time, you're thinking, damn, so that means we're going to build you up. We're going to cash in all the money that you're going to make for you to go put it on a console with a fan base that didn't establish the success of the fucking games or helped you financially with the Xbox brand. It almost feels like you're still spitting in somebody's face. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because principle is principle, regardless. Mm-hmm. Like, I would love to see, right now, I'm real seriously, I wonder how Zink is feeling, because Zink loves Forza. So do I.
Zink was here earlier, and Zink was here earlier. He didn't. He was just saying, this don't mean the console's going anywhere. I don't think. Let me tell you this. Listen, if or when Forza Horizon outsells Gran Turismo, Zink is going to talk so much shit. It's going to be hilarious. So So I don't know how Zinc feels, but he was here earlier and he was making a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, I know that Zinc, like me, being like big Forza fans, it doesn't feel good for us because we don't like Sony. We know
Yeah.
that Sony's a fucked up company. Sony doesn't do nothing for anybody but themselves. Sony has never done for nobody in the industry but themselves unless they benefit. And why is it that somebody like Microsoft that's always helped the industry out and developers, why are you trying to save the very people that were trying to take you out, right?
Right.
Because the truth of the matter is, and I don't care what anybody says, you could be the Xbox biggest fan to the end. If Microsoft was in the position of PlayStation right now, right? If Microsoft was the company, right, that was hemorrhaging money, not really doing well, right? If it was Microsoft and Sony had the upper hand and Nintendo, all you best believe that both Sony and Nintendo would take Microsoft out.
Yeah.
They would not give two fucks about Phil Spencer, Satya Nadella, Sarah Bond, Matt Booty, Aaron Greenberg. They wouldn't give a fuck about nobody at Xbox and how friendly they are. They would be like, see ya, bye. They would crucify them and bury them. And that's what pisses me off because that makes Xbox, Phil Spencer, look weak as fuck. Because again, it's principle, right? And we all know as Xbox fans, if it was the other way around, Sony would have buried Microsoft. And we lost Xbox as a company that we loved and adored and liked what they did. Just like they did with Sega. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think a lot of Xbox fans don't feel like we got that real how can I put this, that sense of like victory in the sense that hey, because remember how last generation was where it's like, oh, we got God of War and Spider-Man and all this other shit, and every Xbox game was torn down. We didn't. A lot of us didn't get that, even though Xbox got like 50 studios and 40 games in development. The fact that them putting their games on PlayStation at this extent, it really, we didn't. A lot of Xbox fans don't feel like we got that same high that they got last generation. Even if it was media driven,
we didn't get that sense of satisfaction of what we paid for. We paid for this console and we didn't get that type of satisfaction.
Yeah, and even though I personally don't feel that way because I love.
No, me neither, because we got way more games that people give Xbox credit. And now, if you notice, those same people are talking shit about those old games like Sunset Overdrive, Recore, Rise, Son of Rome, Killer Instincts, Quantum Break, right? State of Decay, fucking what the fuck is the other one? Sea of Thieves, Crackdown 3. All those people are now like, yo, these games are fire. What the fuck?
Yeah.
All them fucking hypocrites.
One thing that does annoy me is that all of a sudden I'd be seeing on YouTube how Sunset Overdrive is Insomniac's best game. It's their most underrated game, all this other stuff. And I'm like, dude, I've been saying forever since day one on my channel. That's my favorite game.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, how many times I don't mean to cut you off, brother. I'm sorry. How many times, right? I'm just adding to what you just said. Have you said it was Sunset Overdrive that brought you back into gaming?
Yep.
You said that 1,000 times.
Yep.
Okay. And I said Sunset Overdrive has been the best work that Insomniac has done and the most refreshing new IP in a long time. That's what I said from the very beginning, right? I played the game. I bought the game day one. I bought it physical and I bought it digital. I beat the game. I bought the DLC. And till this day, and it's funny. You know what's funny? Because Microsoft only owns the publishing rights to Sunset, yet they won't put Sunset on PlayStation, even though Insomniac was associated. But they want to put something else that they actually built and the fan base actually built the success of those titles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is weird to me. But again, like you were saying, you said that since day one. And you know what's another funny thing that you said that? You know what's funny?
What?
Sega Forever is over. Xbox is dead. Yeah, in the sense, absolutely. It's true. But the what's over is I really think that their sales not being good enough for the console, they're fucking getting scared, thinking that, oh, since they're not gonna buy our console, then let's might as well give them some of our games so that they can see we got good games and maybe they'll move over. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting theory. I haven't really hitched my wagon to that theory only because I've been saying forever. Because Microsoft been saying console sales don't matter, so it don't really make sense in my brain for them to, because they were saying consoles don't matter even last generation.
Right.
So it don't really make sense in my brain for them to be like the console ain't selling like we thought. But at the same time, I'm reading in pretty much any statement how console sales aren't what they consider success. But yet that be the motivator for putting their games everywhere. I don't work for them, so I don't know.
It makes them look.
But that theory does make sense as well, because these games need somewhere to be played off of.
Yeah. Plus, it makes them look. It makes them. The thing is, though, it makes them look like they're kind of greedy. If that makes sense. Now, you know what's also funny is that you said about the Sunset Overdrive videos that you've seen. I saw a video from from two people. I gotta send them to you. Where the headline of the video was the Xbox One generation was much better than people thought it was.
Yeah,
it had great games. I'm like, oh my fucking god! All of a sudden,
that video might be one of the few things that triggers me, man.
You
know what I'm saying? Because that hearing that after the love that I have for that console, that generation, to hear that 5 years into this current one, that's a little too far for even me. Like,
history repeats itself. It happened with the Saturn. It happened with the Saturn. It happened with Dreamcast. You know what I'm saying? It repeats itself. That's happened all the time. And that's why me and E-Rock and Sega Man and Sega Forever, that we're much older, right? We've always said this is nothing new. We've been around the block. We know this is bullshit. I said that. I remember one time when we were in the podcast. I said, watch when the generation moves over. They're going to be like, oh, the Xbox One was actually a really good console. We underestimated. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yep. Coco Fiend said, facts. If it was PlayStation that was up, Xbox wouldn't exist right now. What about ABK and everything except COD would be exclusive? Yeah. That's another thing, because listen, Phil has seen even worse than what we've saw. I see the replies he's got on Twitter when I was on that site, and it was worse than even the shit that I used to get when I used to like games like State of Decay and all that shit, or the hate that I got for even liking Dragon Age last year. For some reason, that really got people upset. But the point is, and yet I don't know. He definitely don't hold grudges, because holy shit, man, that dude is like, yo, but here's why I think that you're right about it's not really him making the call, because the shift was so fast and so sudden that it just feels too much like in 2023 that in 2023 we got that's where we got Starfield and all these games exclusive, and for early 2024 and onwards, for it to just be the polar opposite feels like a corporate mandate more so than Phil just one day waking up like, hey, you know what, we're just gonna put our games everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think that you're onto something there. But again, all that's just speculation.
Right. No. Excuse me, brother. Sorry. Again, I and to be honest, if they keep doing this, and what they end up doing is hurting the console brand, right? Ultimately, they will just have themselves to blame,
right?
Because the fan base has been loud and they've spoken. Why do you keep on putting games everywhere else?
Yeah. And
even if you leave exclusives, why are you doing that?
yeah,
Because like
yeah,
I said,
and even then we would meet them halfway. You know,
right,
for example, I was one of those people. I was never upset about the games on PC thing. You know
right.
what I'm saying? I tell the story all the time. Around the time that was announced, Quantum Break was coming out, and when I played Quantum Break and loved it, for me it was like at no point playing that game was like, oh, this game's also on PC. This shit is trash. So you know, I know for sure. I always, you know, and a lot of us met them halfway. The games on PC, cool. You know, you put some games on there, cool. But when it's the games like your Forzas and Halos and Fables and all that, that's where it's like, all right, come on now.
Plus,
You know
PC is not a console. A PC, most people buy PCs because they can do a whole bunch of other things with it that are important. Right. Playing games on a PC is a bonus.
Right.
It's not a focus. When you buy a console, the only reason you buy it is because the whole focus is to play games on it.
Right.
So how are you going to identify that console, right? And the value of it, so people will be enticed to play it or buy it by leaving games that are exclusive that interest people, so they go out and buy it.
Right.
That's why they buy PlayStation. That's why they buy Nintendo, because they like playing the Marios, the Zeldas, you know, the Splatoons, the Kirby's, you know, and the Metroids, right?
Yeah, right.
On PlayStation, they like playing the God of Wars, the Uncharted's, The Last of Us, and yeah, I don't even mention Spider-Man because that's not theirs, but that's a whole different thing. But you get what I'm saying, right? Because those are their IPs, or the Ghost of Tsushima's or Days Gone, right? Those are their 6 flagship games right now that they have, right? Or Ratchet and Clank, for example.
Right.
On Xbox, what do you buy Xbox for? For Halo, for Forza, for Fable, for Gears of War. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for, you know, State of Decay, right? For games like Sea of Thieves, Forza Horizon. Because there's 2 of them, right? It's Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizon.
Yeah, right.
So again, that's why people buy an Xbox. And they all 3 can coexist without sharing games. I don't understand why they can't.
Right.
But that's why I said that it's coming off almost like Microsoft is also being greedy, even though it may be another initiative or incentive behind the move, right? Because everybody's like, yo, your division is worth over 600 or 700 billion dollars, but yet you're still trying to put games other places. Like, you acting like y'all starving and not making no money. Right. I can understand if Sony did it, because Sony is financially not in a good place. And I could also understand if Nintendo did it, because they kind of stagnant. They stay in one place. Financially, they're making more money now with their theme parks, their movies that go into theaters, merchandise, more than their actual gaming division, right?
Right.
Because people don't take that into account. That also helps Nintendo a lot, right? Just go see the reviews of their theme park, and you see that the prices for the fucking shit in the theme park are like for super rich people. It's not even for normal people, for the super rich, right? And so, crazy. Oh yeah, their prices are crazy. Nintendo's arrogant as fuck. They don't give a fuck. But you know the reason why they do that is because they're using their IP. If they don't do that, then Nintendo will take away the rights to use their IP. That's all it is.
Right. So
again, if you have so much money, it doesn't mean that you gotta act like I'll fucking like, oh, I don't fucking care. I'll fucking just put it wherever. It doesn't matter. Because then you can't sit there at that same token. You can't sit there and be like, oh no, we value our hardware customer and we always want to put them first. How are you putting them first if you're giving the games away that we helped establish to build on the console to begin with? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like a double standard, and it just comes off as hypocritical. And that's why even yourself and other people have said Phil lied. Because remember, I told you I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. I have a feeling that
I wasn't giving them the benefit of the doubt that time.
Remember, I told you.
Yeah, you were very rational.
I have a feeling that it was only supposed to be initially those 4 games, and then when they started to see some of the numbers, the upper echelons were like, "Oh no, we're gonna have to do more games, and just spread them out." so it don't look that bad when we're doing it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, and there's definitely merit to that. Let me get to Gogo's post comment here. He said last year when he announced the 4 games in Indy, didn't we all say there's no game that will? No. I know for sure. Google Poe. I've said consistently, X game wouldn't go there, whether it was Halo, Forza, or Fable.
Me too.
I was head-fed. I was not one of the people who was saying there's no game. Even when Phil said there's no red line, I'm thinking, yeah, I could see that. Maybe I'm thinking red line means something like Starfield, because that was after Indiana Jones was announced to go to PlayStation, not Forza or Halo or nothing like that. I fully 100% admit, guys, and I have no issue admitting when I'm wrong. I didn't see this coming at all. I would have never. I would have went to the grave about thinking, nah, Halo's never going, Forza's never going, and you wouldn't be able to talk me out of that. You know what I'm saying? So I was
done deliberate. Unlimited. Mm-hmm. It was deliberate because they just announced their financials, like I said yesterday, and they say how much money they made on PlayStation off the fan base, right? Mm-hmm. But we all know those are Call of Duty numbers.
Yeah.
Right? And so now I guarantee you. And they'll sit down and ask Phil, so why you put one of your flagship titles like Forza, right? Mm-hmm. He's going to say, because we've made good money and progress with PlayStation fans buying games, so we want to put a big flagship title to see if it does well as well. You get what I'm saying? Or we feel that it's going to do well. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially since you know and they know, because we know it, so they know it. That Gran Turismo hasn't sold well on PlayStation.
You're right.
So it's almost like an open window and opportunity for them. Okay, so let's put our number 1 rated game on PlayStation and they'll go out and buy it. You get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Again, I don't agree with it. Again, they could go fuck themselves. It was up to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think all of us will feel that same way.
But again, the people are going to twist it like, y'all just mad because y'all don't want other people to play games. No. It has nothing to do with other people wanting to play the games. It's because Sony as a company is fucking dirty. They've always been anti-consumer, anti-culture, anti-industry, gaming industry. They don't give a fuck about nobody but themselves. So why the fuck go out and save them? Because I'll say it again. If it was the other way around, they would bury Microsoft and we will lose Xbox as a whole as fans of Xbox. There will be no Xbox. They did it with Nintendo. They tried to do it with Sega, and they did it with Sega as well. They did it with Atari, Panasonic, Neo Geo, NEC, TurboGrafx, all of them fucking companies. They did it to all of them. So you really think if they weren't the ones with the upper hand as far as money, they wanted to do it to Xbox? Of course they'll do it to Xbox. But for me, like I told you before, since they crossed the red line, then I have to change as a consumer. What do I mean by that? I'm no longer defending Xbox.
Right.
I'm not defending as far as exclusives matter or we get exclusives. No, I'm not defending that. I don't give a fuck if we keep some exclusive now. I'm not doing it because I don't want to say one thing and then 3 years later, it's coming to PlayStation or Nintendo. Fuck that. I don't want to go through that. No. Because then we got to deal with the fucking trolls and all the idiots, right?
Right.
Them. It's not them. It's us, right? As the Xbox fan base or consumers. Now, what I will defend them is when they do consumer-friendly things, like the Xbox All Access, Game Pass, backwards compatible, smart delivery, things like that. The power of the console, yes, at an affordable price. I'll defend that. Yes, absolutely, because that's a fact. They do that. They do provide it. But as far as the exclusives and games, I will never defend it ever again. So no one asked me because I'm not going to defend them. I'm like, what do you think about this coming to PlayStation? I guess it will because I don't know. Xbox does whatever the fuck they want. So I'm not defending it. I'm just not. Because that's embarrassing that we put our face to defend them because we trust and believe in the fan, in the brand. And then they come and make us look like jerk-offs or assholes or dummies. Like, y'all bought it, y'all support it, now it's going somewhere else for free because their fan base is getting it free. Well, not free because they got to pay full price. I get it. Mm-hmm. But they weren't there supporting it from the get-go like we are, so why the hell you just giving it to them?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And and that's where it's. Yeah, I know some of y'all don't want to hear it, but that's where it's a business is just an absolute fact, and these businesses aren't our friends, and why for years listen. I've always told people on my channel, yes, I'm an Xbox fan, but I'm a consumer first, right?
Absolutely.
And that's because when or if something like this happened, I know. Listen, Phil's not going to see this podcast and be like, man, Unlimited Truth is right. We got to reverse course, guys. No, the people they're listening to are their shareholders and everybody else up there at
Yep.
Microsoft who don't they don't care about Xbox. All they care about is did Xbox grow this month? It didn't. Why didn't it grow? You better make it grow because the shareholders come first, right? So stuff like that is where that's again that's why that's why as shocking as this is, and not the Xbox fan part of me feels some kind of way. I'm not like extremely upset or pissed off or none of that stuff. I'm just like, wow,
we got to play it first, and we got to play it on Game Pass.
yeah.
So we weren't forced to buy it. We still played it and benefited. It's the principle because we supported Xbox, the console.
Yeah, and if Xbox ever did anything to drive, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be extremely hard for Xbox to drive me away personally. That's how attached I am to the brand, and I got all these games. I still love gaming on it. The console's excellent. The controls the best. So when I make shows like this, I ain't bitching. I'm literally just having a discussion.
We're criticizing their move. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, and like Gogobo said, unless they want to throw away 30 million subs, Xbox is not dead. No, guys, this is not an Xbox is dead podcast and none of that bullshit. Xbox is going to outlast PlayStation. I'm letting you. Like just listen, guys. Just because PlayStation has gotten like 7 games over the last year, however many games it was, does not mean PlayStation's doing better. That they won. None of that bullshit. They just got rid of
as an opportunity to make money off their fan base. That's all they're seeing.
Yeah. Look, they just got rid of their fucking CEO the other day. They ain't shit. All right, and they're pretty irrelevant to me. I'm not gonna lie. They're super. It's just that they're going to go the way of the dinosaur if they don't make changes too. And shout out to Shane G. Thank you for joining the homie Shane G. He's saying, look, the game industry is changing. We will have access to every PlayStation game on Steam. Yeah. So
I just don't think it's going to happen right away. But
yeah. This is how things work. Xbox does something first. They take all the heat. Everybody. Oh, Zink. That's what's up.
Everybody else copies, and then they get
everybody else copy. By then it's normalized, right?
And then they get credit for it, not Xbox.
or they get credit for it. Yeah. So don't think your boy Unlimited Productions out here. Oh, Xbox is dead, or no. It's just that this was surprising news. It was worth talking about because guys, I wasn't going to do a podcast today because I don't give a fuck that Sony Herm Helps, whatever his fucking name is.
Herman Helps. Yeah. That's not our problem.
Oh wow! Another Sony exec that's happened like 7 times in the last decade. But Forza Horizon going to PlayStation.
Let's get straight to Unlimited. Let's get something straight. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I don't even care if a game like God of War or fucking, let's say, Last of Us or even Uncharted came to Xbox. Because for me, it don't feel like it's part or belongs on Xbox.
Hey, Hebot.
You get what I'm saying? Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Hold on. Yeah, I get you. You get what I'm saying? Like
Zink
me?
is limited. Hold on. Sorry to cut you off. Zink is limited on time.
Actually, I'm with my mother sitting right next to me, so you getting filled.
Say hi to mommy.
You getting? Say hi, mom.
Hi.
Oh, hey, Mrs. Zink.
They said hi, Mrs. Wolverine. Hey, listen. So anyway, and I tell my mother these things. We're actually sitting at the tire barn because I saw I had a nail in the tire when I took my mom to get her things. But listen, and I tell my mother these things. You guys know I can't hang around because I'm in the stock market all of the time.
Right.
It's much bigger than games right here. Microsoft is about to take over them and about three other companies are literally about to take over the world. Period.
Mhm.
No questions asked.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like now, because they need to change our power grid for to just have AI, and they're changing our data centers because our power grid isn't powerful enough for what's coming. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Microsoft is about to buy some things and they don't need any problems. Lena Khan caused Xbox a problem when Jim Ryan was walking around the world crying
Yeah.
about losing Call of Duty. And he's like, hey, we out of business. We all heard all of these things, right? Well, they have to make it look good. They really, really do. And then now people are talking about buying nuclear plants. Microsoft already bought a nuclear plant already,
Mhm.
one that's dormant because it's cost too much to build a brand new nuclear plant. Okay.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
a lot of these things are going on. And of course, we don't like it. All of us want Sony dead. And I can say that because my mother hears me say,
I said
I
it,
want,
mentioned the same thing. I said it. Me, you know, people like me think we want Sony dead
yeah,
because they're
yeah.
bastards.
Yeah, but the thing is, Hebot, there's a much bigger picture.
Absolutely.
Even though we know how big games are, and Microsoft is worth the Xbox division is worth north of $500 billion. We know that. It's people and at Bloomberg that didn't even know that Xboxes were in server racks in data centers that powered Azure across the world. They had no idea. You know,
Mhm.
they think Microsoft is just now making money off of artificial intelligence. When if they listen to an earnings report, Satya Nadella will tell you, hey, um, a lot of our AI innovations came from the Xbox division. He would say that
Yeah.
in a quarterly report, but it's much bigger than that. And if they just crush Sony or let Sony die without giving effort to say, hey, look, we put our most popular game
They
here.
look like the
These
bad
are the
guy.
things.
Mhm.
They will be the bad guy. And that's what was happening in the 90s. And Unlimited, you're right. When I said Microsoft saved Apple, and this is sort of the same thing. Nothing could save Sony. Like when we all first got together years ago, I told you guys how stupid Sony was.
Yeah.
They're just not. They are smart in a few fields, but they're imploding and no one wants to talk about it. Unlimited, you earlier today you started talking about the many executives they let go. Meanwhile, Microsoft is promoting executives and expanding, okay,
Yep.
within the Xbox division. But it's much, much, much bigger than gaming. And everyone is going to see this when they start changing data centers where you live in Philadelphia, definitely down in Texas. Elon is already starting that. So it's going to be
Mhm.
a when you and another thing, Larry Fink is the CEO of this company, BlackRock. They have assets under management of like $11 trillion. They're the
Hmm.
biggest in the world. And the thing is, he and this other guy was on talking about how they have to get the same power grid across the world. Okay, it's that big. So
Mhm.
it's not just about gaming. I understand we all in the same boat, and I understand Unlimited. We want Sony dead, and my mother knows, so she's not hearing anything foreign,
Yeah.
out of my
I,
mouth today.
I'm more patient on the Sony dead than y'all are because I think it's an inevitable thing that's going to happen. So for
It
me, it's just
is.
like so for me,
Mhm.
if it happens in
I'm gonna
five
let you
years
go
or
on this
2
one,
years,
Unlimited. And
yeah.
Unlimited, talked earlier about the gimmick that was
Oh,
the I.
PSVR.
Hey, when you said that, I was in Walmart, okay, and walking around with my mom, and they still have PSVR units, a stack of them for $599. Then they have the PlayStation down there, a stack of them for $699. Then on the other side, they have another stack of PlayStations. Meanwhile, it's only two Xbox Series X's left at Walmart. But I'm gonna let you
Mhm.
guys go. But
Yeah.
I hope I could get on later on in the week on the weekend with you guys.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's good talking to you. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah,
All right,
look,
so
look.
take care, brother. Take care.
Yeah. Listen, the only reason why I'm here today because I don't really
I
got
know.
time like that either. Is that this was
Yeah,
such huge news? So I'm
yeah,
like, screw it. Let's do
yeah,
it. Let's
yeah.
talk about it.
Hey, Unlimited, you trying to get a house. And soon as I
Yeah.
get a chance, I'm gonna get another controller to get closer to your collection. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Oh man. All right, Zink. Thank you for popping that other Zink, man. Always
Yeah.
wonderful. Always wonderful. And yeah, Gogo Poe, listen, how many times I've been saying for the longest, people got to get out of the console war mindset. Some of the stuff is it just is what it is. Things are gonna change, times are gonna change. Nintendo, listen, guys, I'm letting you guys know right now, Nintendo and Sony are going to follow suit. All right, it's going to happen. It's just that Xbox is the first to do it. It's shocking. It's something new. It's very different. And like I was saying at the beginning of the show, Hebot, we as console gamers have been trained to buy. Listen, you buy a console for X games, right? When I was a kid, Sonic the Hedgehog was packaged with my first Sega Genesis. Sega was not available on Nintendo. That was the selling point because Sega was fucking awesome, right? Are you still there, Hebot?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and so for like the 40 or so years, 45 plus years that the console market has been what it is now. We've bought that's been the strategy, and then the software, i.e. the games, made the money,
Yep.
because so now that things are shifting, we're in the digital age. Games are more expensive than ever. Everything's more expensive than ever, right? Every company's trying to pivot to what works and not only what makes money, but what helps them, grow and get better. And so that's what Xbox is doing, right? That's what Xbox is doing. Now, will it work? We'll see. I think it will, but I don't know if here's what I think is going to happen. Eventually, there'll be one other game other than COD or Minecraft that'll be this big heavy hitter on PlayStation. But I'm not sure if it's going to be Forza because Hi-Fi Rush in those games, they did, like E-Rock said the other day, and it shocked me, only 2 million sold on the PlayStation 5 for Sea of Thieves. Now remember, of the 43 million or 45 million, however much it was for Sea of Thieves, only 2 million that bought it on PlayStation. That's not really impressive to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Especially that they have a 64 million units supposedly sold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, another caveat that people don't understand too, or detail, right? Microsoft is in their gaming division with Xbox. They're in gaming not just with hardware. Mm-hmm. They're in gaming with cloud.
Yep.
The Azure servers, Scuf, Havoc, right? They're in gaming in many different avenues and venues. So they make up money, plus services now with Game Pass, right? And whatever coming in the future, if they do anything with Steam or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. People need to understand that Sony and Nintendo don't make or can't really just make drastic measures or differences in their business model because Sony solely depends on the PlayStation division because it's what makes them the most money. The same way Nintendo solely, relies on the Nintendo division. That's all they got.
Right.
They don't have services. They don't have, applications that they control like Scuf or Havoc or Simply Gone. They don't own cloud services. They don't have an actual proper game service that can offer games day and date. That's why they don't do their games day and date. Because for them, it'll hurt them because they need as many sales as they can get before anything else. Microsoft doesn't have to worry about that because they have money. So that's why I think they also look at it that way. And remember what Zink just said. That's what I was trying to say earlier too, that Microsoft has all eyes on them because they're $1 trillion, Microsoft is a multi-trillion-dollar company. So whatever they do, they try to scrutinize and critique and act like, oh, they're being the bad guys. You see what I'm saying? When Sony does something, nobody even talks about it. Like it just came out that they were trying to buy out. What was that game that came out that was multi-plat? That they were trying to buy that game also out with exclusivity, and they told them,
Crimson Desert.
Crimson Desert, and there was another one that came out on Xbox recently that we came to find out they were trying to do that also as an exclusive to PlayStation, right? The same way that there were rumors that they were doing it for Starfield as well, right? So again, there's many reasons that they can be doing this that we don't know. We're just doing hypotheticals based on the knowledge, our intelligence of being around in gaming for so long as consumers use anonymous card and things of that nature. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And we can be completely wrong. Maybe they're doing it because they just don't give a fuck. They want to make extra money everywhere else. We don't know, right? That could be very much the case. But if you think with a logical head on your shoulder, using your intelligence, you know, there is a lot more going on. And the gaming aspect and industry is changing. And most of the time, if we look back at history, like you mentioned just a few minutes ago, Xbox always leads the way, and then everybody else follows suits, copies, and then they get credit for it like they evolved or moved gaming forward, when in the reality, it was Microsoft.
Right.
It looked like I was arguing on Twitter, one of these king trashes, one of his dumbass friends. He was trying to argue with me that Microsoft I just came around when the OG Xbox. I said, no, brother. Microsoft's first console was the MSX1 and the MSX2. It was even before the Nintendo NES. And that is where Hideo Kojima debuted Metal Gear Solid before they put it on the NES. The only thing is, it was based off of Microsoft hardware, but they didn't manufacture it. It was manufactured by other electronic companies like JVC, RCA, Toshiba, Panasonic, and I think even Sony did a version of it as well.
Right.
But it was Microsoft hardware.
Yeah, E-Rock popped in. So before I pass on the mic, let me just answer Coco Fiend's question. He said, what games y'all think PlayStation will report to Xbox? This how it's going to work, Coco Fiend. It's going to start with games like Marathon, which y'all don't know what Marathon is. It's going to be a flopped, Bungie's next flop. That's going to come to Xbox. They're going to eventually put Helldivers 2 on Xbox. So it's going to start with games like that. Then slowly but surely going to see the Spider-Mans coming and all that other shit. And Sony's going to say the same shit Xbox is saying now. And then before you know it, a bunch of their games going to be on Xbox as well. That's how it's going to be. But E-Rock, my friend, thank you for joining. And, you know, this was just an impromptu show, but I'm glad you made it in.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I saw you streaming. Like, man, you and Sega Man be having like emergency podcasts.
Yeah.
But
no, I actually haven't been podcasting much at all.
I know.
It's just that today, this was such big news to me. I thought that would make great discussion, and that's the only because I was not going to talk about the Herman Helms, whatever his fucking name, getting fired at Sony. I was going to talk about none of that shit because Sony. This ain't a PlayStation channel, and I don't give a fuck that much, right? But with this, I was like, you know what? This is big enough news. Let's talk about it. And I'm glad you're here, E-Rock. So I'm gonna let guys chat. I'm gonna let E-Rock speak. Then we're gonna start wrapping it up. It has been over an hour and a half, and I gotta eat dinner, man. I'm hungry as shit. But
yeah,
E-Rock,
I know, man. You be having to get out of Dodge. Part of me is like ambivalent about this because I heard what Hebot said earlier, and I do believe I agree with Hebot, which is weird because me and him don't agree on a lot of shit lately. You know that, right, Christopher? You know I love you, man. We don't agree on a lot of shit.
There's never been animosity because I don't give a fuck. You're my brother, and I told you that. It doesn't matter to the end, bro. It is what it is.
Brother. I know, but I do agree on Hebot. He be on point with a lot of shit about this game and shit. I do believe it's some things that should have stayed legacy games on Xbox.
Yeah.
And by legacy means don't go nowhere. It should have been 4 brands that are untouchable: Gears, Halo, Forza Horizon, and Forza Motorsports. These are the games that we supported. These are the games that basically built Xbox, especially the Forza Horizon series. It kept Xbox afloat all during that very tenuous Xbox One generation, where Xbox got a lot of bullshit from the media and from fanboys, despite having, and we can research this, despite Xbox One having more games, more IPs, and being the better console overall. But you know, part of me is ambivalent about this. You know, we could go through the whole shit about, well, Forza Horizon 5 came out 3 years ago. We can do that dance, but I could see some Xbox fans being mad about this because Forza Horizon 5 is one of the big 4, and like you guys said a few minutes ago before I joined, if Forza Horizon 5 is going to PlayStation, then that means everything's on the table. That means that nothing's off of going over on PlayStation. And
Mhm.
like this is a thing where as an Xbox gamer, you shouldn't care. You shouldn't care because Xbox exclusives or Xbox main games like Forza and Halo and South of Midnight are coming to Game Pass day one. You are
Mhm.
still winning, but like again, like Hebot always says, it's the perception of things. It's the perception of things. And look, whether anybody likes it or not, this is what Phil Spencer is doing. This is what Xbox is doing. Xbox is going hard and becoming a third party publisher. They're already the biggest, if I'm correct, they're already the
Mhm.
biggest third party publisher on the planet. They're
Mhm.
making money hand over fist. And it is what it is. The moves they're making is so that they can dominate gaming.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know whether they see Tencent as a future threat because
Yeah.
I don't think they're worrying about PlayStation or Nintendo at all at this point.
No.
Yeah. You got a
So,
good
so,
point. Yep. Yep.
so,
Yep.
so,
Yep.
so, so, so I don't know if they're preparing for a battle with Tencent in the future. I do know there are rumors that they're going to try to do something with Gabe Newell and Valve and get the Steam app on the next Xbox. This Forza Horizon 5 going to PlayStation was a rumor that somebody that just Corden knew had leaked 3 weeks
Mhm.
ago. And I don't put no stock in rumors, but in
Yeah.
this is the one time the rumor was right. So,
No.
E-Rock,
Well, hold on.
go ahead.
Honestly, the last year there have been two correct rumors, and that was those games. Because remember, last year's a rumor of Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves going to
Yeah,
PlayStation.
yeah, yeah,
I remember
yeah.
that specifically because I came up here and I was mad at the Xbox fans who were bitching like a storm. You know, I was mad at the Xbox community at that one. Turned out I was wrong like a week later, and then this Forza.
Mhm.
Well, I wasn't worried about the Forza one because guys, when I say I'm disconnected right now, I don't go to Twitter, I don't go to Instagram or none of that shit. So I'm super disconnected, and all I see is whatever gets recommended to me these days. E-Rock. So I wasn't even worried about that Forza rumor that strongly.
The thing that I'm not even gonna really say pisses me off because really this move doesn't affect me at all. It's
Yeah.
not
Right.
going to stop me. It's not going to stop me from enjoying fucking
Right.
I don't know what the 10 games that dropped at Game Pass this month.
Yeah.
It's not going to stop me from enjoying Sniper Elite. It's not going to stop me from enjoying South of Midnight. It's not going to stop me from enjoying all of these games. Xbox All In. I don't know. I know how Xbox All In feels about this, and I can't wait to talk to you. Also, Xbox All In. I'm not on Instagram anymore. You're going to have to find a way to get with Sega Man and Hebot and get my phone number so we can get in contact. All right, dude? Because I'm not on Instagram anymore. And I'm not available to see your links. I miss hanging out with you. The thing that bugs me the most, guys, and I'm gonna land my plane because I know Unlimited wants to get out of here and have dinner. The thing that bugs me the most, Forza Horizon 5 going to PlayStation does not affect me.
Mhm.
Me
Yeah.
personally, if I was in charge of Xbox, I would have left my legacy titles on Xbox.
Mhm.
Xbox doesn't need Xbox doesn't need full exclusivity to sell their next Xbox. The three of us here are going to buy it anyway. The
Yes.
people, the people who are going to be Xbox, we're Xbox for life. And there's always going to be those who are going to be like, oh, I'm going to sell my Xbox, and there's no reason to have an Xbox, and why buy an Xbox? You know why you buy an Xbox. You buy an Xbox for Game Pass. Game Pass is now Xbox's killer exclusive, and we now have to retrain ourselves and
Mhm.
how we think about the Xbox brand. It's just the way it is. And why are you sounding so calm? You're coping. No, I'm not coping. It's called being an adult. It's called being
Yeah.
an adult who's got a fucking bad knee, a house, fucking property taxes, fucking homeowners insurance, fucking got to put food on the table. Um, and I'm so glad I'm off social media now. And as corny as this may sound, not having the YouTube channel has left me blissfully out of this bullshit. Like Gogo Pole said, stop listening to the ponies. The thing that bothers me the most, guys, and I'm gonna try to land my plane, is that the PlayStation audience is never going to say thank you, Phil. They're
Right.
never going to say
Yeah.
thank you for giving
I
us
said
games.
I said that earlier.
Yeah, oh, I didn't see it, man. Sorry
No,
about
no, no,
that.
no,
But
no,
but
no.
but
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
they're never going to say thank you. Our console was dry. We don't know when Wolverine's coming out. Our console's dry as fuck. There's nothing coming over here. Thank you for sending us games. They're never going to say that. To them, these guys are like the fucking 120-year-old Civil War veteran that's hiding somewhere down in Savannah, Georgia, and he still thinks that the war is going on with the North. They're like that Japanese dude that's lost on an island somewhere. And you're like, dude, how long you been here? I've been here since 1945. Is the war over? He's still fighting World War II. These guys, MDB, even D-Batch now, I think was an Xbox guy, Crap Gamer, Dreamcast guy. Oh, I know Dreamcast guys already made about 106 Xbox is Dead videos in the last 20 minutes.
One day.
But one day, these guys, they're never going to stop. You're never like Sega. I mean, Sega Man has some dude named Cygnus come in his comment section earlier. These guys are never going to untrain themselves, guys. From Genesis does what Nintendo don't. You understand what I'm saying, Hebot? They're never going to untrain themselves from. And we heard it today. I saw a video a day ago from Oh No It's Alex, because this video just pop up on my feed. And Oh No It's Alex, he can be very entertaining sometimes. I think sooner or later him and Tanger want to get burnt out.
What 100 says about Oh No It's Alex? Yeah, I watch this video whenever you have his shirt on.
Yeah. They're going to get burnt out of mining PlayStation salt because it's never ended. Like he was literally busting a blood vessel. I don't know whether he was acting or not, but like I could tell when folks are literally flustered. Oh No It's Alex was busting a blood vessel trying to figure out the logic of this YouTuber called Reforge Gaming saying that he'd rather pay $70 for games and $750 for a PS5 Pro than get Game Pass.
Look, hold on. Sorry to cut you off, E-Rock, but chat. That's why I was saying earlier that we don't just blindly sit for Xbox on this channel, man, because I would delete my shit if I ever said something that stupid.
He with the level of conviction that he said this, it was sort of a play on what me and Sega Man said 4 years ago when gaming got expensive and everybody lost their goddamn minds when Game Pass had increased prices.
Oh my god, what a great point.
Yeah, and me and Sega Man were like, listen, guys, gaming is expensive. You might want to mow lawns and get a better job. That was one thing. We're talking about a subscription service raising its prices, right? This dude, Reforge Gaming, was basically co-signing on not getting Game Pass, where I hope my math is correct. If not Unlimited, who's an accountant, will correct me. For $220 a year, you get like 500 games, and you get all of Xbox's exclusives, which are numerous now. For the price of just 3 exclusives, you're getting everything all year round. He's saying that's garbage. That's not a good value. What's a good value for him is paying $70 for all these Xbox games so that he can play them on his $750 PlayStation Pro. And you could see Oh No It's Alex. You could see the veins in his head ready to bust. And I'm like, dude, Oh No It's Alex, man. Look, I know we had our differences, man. But seriously, man, you seem like a good guy. Dude, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not. And so Gogo Post says, "Hey guys, I'm not saying that you can't be disappointed. Disappointed about what? Like
about the game going to PlayStation. Because again, a lot of this is console war mindset, and a lot of listen. I noticed this years ago, E-Rock, where a lot of the Xbox fans, if you ask them. They want the love Sony gets, the game of the years, the high review scores. They want all that shit, right? They want IGN to constantly praise them. They want these YouTubers to constantly be like,
sir.
Oh, that's what they deep down. That's
sir.
What they want, right?
Yes, sir.
And all the Xbox moves is kind of, first of all, Xbox was never going to get that, even if they didn't do what they're doing now.
Nope.
But even if Xbox just didn't change anything from the 360 days and ran things the exact same, right? That wouldn't have happened. But I don't know. It's like they badly. I generally think, and I know a lot of them want Xbox to have PlayStation's perception. Right?
Crap gamer.
They want that. Yeah, they want that so bad that they literally people who I know owns more games than I do on Xbox have quote unquote jumped ship due to not being able to get a fucking Game of the Year award.
To get that, to get that love. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, dude. To get that love and to get that adoration. I think there's a YouTuber called D-Botch. He wants that love and adoration so badly, and you can hear it in his complaints about Xbox. Yeah. You can hear it in his tweets. And the thing is, man, the flip side of that is guys like me and Sega Forever and Hebot. We never wanted all that love and adoration because people like us, we don't need to be loved to fill in to be a part of the in crowd and to be on social media. Because for those of you who've been around long enough, the original Xbox was underground, and we never got that love and adoration. We never got that. Like the OG Xbox was, if you knew, you knew. But the flip side of that is myself. I think I can speak for Hebot, and I think I can speak for Sega Forever. Mm-hmm. And if I could be so bold, then I'm gonna get out of here. We wanted revenge. That's what I wanted. I wanted revenge. Yeah. I wanted revenge. I wanted revenge for them making fun of Sea of Thieves. I wanted revenge for them never sharing their games because I don't care. I don't want to contradict my esteemed colleague, Unlimited Production, but I'm telling you right now, PlayStation ain't never sending over God of War. I'm telling y'all that right now. January 30th, 2025. They ain't never sending over Horizon Zero Dawn. Not that we want that shit. They ain't never.
Do not subject yourself to torture people.
Yeah. So, they ain't never sending over Spider-Man. Sony isn't built like that because Sony, they perfected, they instilled for decades the console war mentality in their people. And that's why Sega Forever and myself said a couple of months ago, let PlayStation die. But we see now that Sega Forever and myself would have been fired from Xbox that same week. According to what the status quo is now, we would have been fired for being console warriors. When clearly Xbox is looking at the numbers of how good these games did over on PlayStation. So, I mean, you had an article where it said Sea of Thieves overtook fucking Astrobot. That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. The game that was diabetic dog shit overtook Geoff Keighley's Game of the Year. It just shows you how much Game of the Year.
It shows how hypocritical they are because the first thing they said was that it was broken.
Yeah, and this kind of exposes the whole the exclusive narrative because if a multi-plat could do better than their literal Game of the Year, if that's not enough to sell it, then what does? You know what I'm saying?
What has exclusives done for PlayStation in 2025, and what has exclusives done for Nintendo? It's done nothing. What has it done for Nintendo when Nintendo right now is scrambling to get new hardware out there? New hardware, mind you, it's fucking from 2013. But I'm going to land my plane, man. I'm with Hebot, man. I don't like the fact that Forza Horizon is going over there, only because the PlayStation community, and it's not an Xbox problem, guys. It's a me problem. And that's why I wanted to get on here so bad. I'm sorry for holding you up from dinner, man.
No, you ain't holding me. No, you don't ever apologize, man.
Unlimited Productions, Hebot, man, it's not an Xbox problem because we are eating good over here at Xbox. If you think I'm lying, just look at all the shit that dropped in Game Pass just this week. This is a me problem. It's a me problem because even though I'm not on social media, we still got to deal with these fucking PlayStation fanboys. Oh, Xbox is dead. Oh, y'all don't have any games. Oh, we're going to be able to play Forza Horizon 5 now.
I kid you not. Pro. E-Rock, I kid you not. On my collection video, I got a comment from a PlayStation fan. Oh, I can play all these games on my PlayStation now. Like that's supposed to mean anything to me.
And here's the thing. Like I said earlier on Sega Man's podcast, that is like, listen, Hebot. I want to be clear. Hebot, Unlimited Production, Xbox All In, GoGoPo, and everybody in the chat. Any PlayStation fan, anybody in the PlayStation media trying to turn Xbox games and exclusives going over to PlayStation as a W is ridiculous. That is an L, and I'll explain to you why. Oh, I can play all my games, all your games on PlayStation. Yeah, and you're paying $70 for each of them. And that $70 in turn is funding future games that me and Hebot and Unlimited Production are going to get for free on Game Pass. So we're winning. We're winning. This isn't me coping. This is just facts. And you can dispute my facts any kind of way you want. What's smarter, getting Game Pass and getting those games free day and day, or paying $70 for them? So
Honestly, we know that there are a lot of Reforged gamers out there who justifying them to themselves right now. Oh yes, I get to pay $70 for Forza Horizon 5 to stick it to the
Mhm.
Xbox.
Mhm.
And that's how they think.
Not realizing that by him purchasing it, he's helping us, the gamers on Xbox.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing, and it just further goes to show how this console war has just toxified the entire gaming. It toxified me. I was a part of this shit. Yeah, I made videos back when I was had the E-Rockets channel that I'm not proud of, even though I was only playing around. Got into arguments with guys like Alex Escobar that he wishes he could have took him back now that he's older and wiser. Oh, E-Rock, man, you're trying to sound so wise. What happened to the Don King of Xbox? I'm still the Don King of Xbox. I'll tell you what happened. I got fucking old. That's what the fuck happened. I grew up. I'm sorry, guys, that I aged out of your console war. Yeah, I want to be mad at Phil Spencer for taking a legacy game and putting it on PlayStation, but like, what the fuck can I do about it? What am I gonna do? Drive to Redmond, Washington, knock on Phil's door? What are you doing? What are you doing? Like this dude.
But at the same time, E-Rock, to be fair to you, to what you said, we're not really console warring. It's what you said earlier. It's that Sony doesn't deserve to be helped because they don't give a fuck about the gaming industry. It's not even their gamers or their players. It's Sony. They never did anything for anybody. And I said it earlier before you came in. If the shoe was around or turned around and it was Microsoft on at the underhand and Sony had the upper hand, they would bury Xbox and they would not give a fuck about Xbox or their fan base. Right now, Xbox will be Sega. It will be dead, and they'll probably be publishers only or not at all. They would not waste any time. Sony would do it in a heartbeat. I'm telling you, they would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and let me say this because I think a lot of people think that in these business meetings, Phil, Sarah Bond, and all them be sitting around, be like, look at poor Sony. If we just give them a few games, you know what I'm saying? That's how we're discussing. They're just looking at numbers, guys, and be like, all right, did we grow this month? No. Why didn't we grow? Well, this is what are you going to do to grow more, Phil? You know what I'm saying? And that's the discussion they're really having. You know what I'm saying? Like PlayStation, Nintendo are means to an end. More so than them being just this wonderful charitable company who's just we just got to do right by them. I mean, what would we be without Sony? That's not what they're thinking. You know what I'm saying? Hell, we know Matt Booty at one point wanted to spend Sony out of business.
Yeah. So what pisses you off about all this? We want unlimited production to go to dinner. Is that fucking like the fucking just oh my god, just like listen, I said it earlier, there's nothing we're going to do about these Sony fanboys and these console warriors and these Dustin Laguerres and these Paris Lilies and these Paul Tassis and these Dreamcast guys. You're not going to change their way of thinking. They are going down with that ship. They're going down with that Genesis does with Nintendo shit mentality. Reforged Gaming, well, a console needs exclusives for you to buy the consoles. And I said earlier, man, Xbox is moving past that. We may not like it. They're moving past that. And then when you look at Xbox's logic, and when you look at shit like this, Sea of Thieves bypassed Astrobot on PlayStation 5 in 2024 in Europe. You got to ask yourself, did it even matter? Did Astrobot as an exclusive even matter? Did it force you supposedly 61 million PlayStation 5s shipped, right? And you only sold 1.2 million copies of Astrobot? And Sea of Thieves, an 8-year-old game that Zaire and Crap Gamer called diabetic dog shit, surpassed Astrobot. And so this is what Xbox is looking at when they do the numbers. This is what Xbox is looking at when they figure out. And by the way, guys, again, Unlimited Production, as he knows, because he's in business, this decision to put Forza Horizon 5 on PlayStation was made last year. It didn't happen this year. It was made last year. And the decision to put Sea of Thieves on PlayStation was made the year before that. This shit doesn't happen overnight. In WWE, they're planning WrestleMania 42 right now. Right. If WrestleMania 41 ain't happened yet. So that's how businesses work. They're always a smart business is always years ahead of the trends and years ahead of what happened. And it is what it is, man. So as an Xbox guy, what is your takeaway? Again, you have Game Pass. That is Xbox's killer app now, Game Pass. And I think that may be Phil's strategy. And as much as we don't understand it, it's playing out right now, man. Listen, if four games from Xbox's Developer Direct fucked up everybody's heads last week, imagine what's going to happen with the other 6 shows that Xbox has. Imagine what's going to happen the rest of this year if this is just January and everybody's losing their minds. What's going to happen next month? And guys, thank you for handing me a link. Unlimited Production. I need to hold up your dinner. I just had to speak on this, man, because you are correct. Forza Horizon 5 going over to PlayStation is huge, but in a way it's not. It's a game we already played. I think it should have been a legacy IP on Xbox, but I'm not running Xbox, man. I'm not running Xbox. And if I was, I'd probably run it into the fucking ground because I want revenge on PlayStation because all the mean shit the PlayStation fans said to me over the years and all of the mean shit they did to Sega and all of the mean shit they did to Xbox and calling Sea of Thieves diabetic dog shit and 1080p and Spider-Man. That's me being a child in the playground at 56 and wanting revenge against other children, and that ain't business. And that's why maybe I need to go find a job as a fucking night watchman somewhere because you can't you can't run a business thinking like that, Hebot. You can't.
But E-Rock, real quick, I also think you made a valid point that wasn't brought up, and I should have thought about it too because it is a true thing. But I think is that they're also setting up because Tencent owns 57% of developer market from the third party. So they're probably trying to get themselves set up where if they establish a good relationship, let's say with Apple, Steam, Sony, right? And even Nintendo, if Tencent trying to come in for the hostile takeover, they can't because they got the big dogs with them or behind them.
Yeah, and I'd rather my companies backed by American companies than
absolutely. Tencent don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't got the experience. That's what I'm saying.
Even if they had the experience, I'm pro America over China. Yeah, listen. I have zero interest in.
Eliminate you racist.
Yeah. Hey, look, man. Look, if the Chinese take over, they sending my ass to the gulags anyway, no matter what.
Don't you both saying Jack? Shit.
Tencent has had one of the greatest franchises ever, Tomb Raider, for almost 3 years now, done nothing with it. And don't have any plan.
Yeah.
That's fact. Yeah, but it's a valid point because that you brought up that makes sense from a business standpoint from the big conglomerates.
And the business aspect in this case is more important than the gaming aspect, you know. and we come up here because we're gamers. We're going to talk about gaming first. This isn't CNBC's business hour. You know what I'm saying, right? This is the unlimited truth. So we're always going to come at the gaming aspect, but we and I can't believe I forgot this. We used to say it all the time. How Xbox and Microsoft true competition isn't Sony or Nintendo, you know, and that's even more true now because what is Sony? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. According to what I'm being told from people like Hebot, I think E-Rock said it earlier, they're making more money from their movies now than games. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So is that's where they're at? Meanwhile, Xbox grew bigger than Windows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about two very different. I think at least in the business access, excuse me, we're talking about two different animals, right? But the gaming world is so stuck on Sony, you know, that they can't let Xbox they can't let this Xbox success, you know, just play out. And that's kind of where I'm at with this. I'm letting it play out because I look at, first of all, I don't even have time to game right now other than today. But even when I do have time to game, you know what I you know what I'm saying? We have so much on Xbox that they get the benefit of the doubt to me on that aspect. To where Game Pass got so much, I have so many fucking games. I'm realistically probably never gonna play all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Phil was called. You know why it makes sense?
So
What E-Rock said?
he bought say your piece, then E-Rock, and then we're gonna give our
Real quick.
outros.
Yeah. The only thing I want to say was it makes sense that that Phil Spencer that that it could be about Tencent because Phil Spencer's on record saying that we had to avoid companies like Tencent, right? He said it today from obtaining more power in the gaming industry because they don't have enough experience to maintain it and to nurture it. He said that. He's got on record saying that like 4 years ago. You know what I mean? So yeah, thank you for sending me the link, brother. It's always good you give me the opportunity to speak because I don't have enough time to sit down, set up a podcast, and talk on my own channel. And so it's always refreshing to be able to bring up or talk about whatever's going on, whether it's gaming or cultural related, whatever the case may be, with you guys. The best that we can for even if it's just for a brief couple of hours. But it's always fun. It's always fun. Our chemistry is always there. It's always the same. We treat each other like family. It's always been that way. And I don't think it'll change as long as we're always honest with each other. We disagree, we agree, it doesn't matter. The first thing that comes first is that we respect each other as human beings. And that's how it's always been, So I appreciate it, E-Rock. Nice to talk to you again. Text me your number and I'll give it to Sega Forever. So that way when he does things, because I don't know if you changed your number again, but if it's the same one, just text it to me. Either way.
Okay.
And just in case, if it's not the same one, because I know you changed more numbers than Muhammad Ali at women.
All right. Talk about that off screen, guys. We got to wrap it up. All right, E-Rock, give me your outro.
All right. Thank you, Unlimited. I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah. Before we go, man, this would have pissed me off years ago, but like Phil makes a convincing argument when already downloaded in my download queue coming to Game Pass is Adamfall, Avowed, Expedition 33, Doom the Dark Ages, Sniper Elite Today, South of Midnight, and it's not even fucking May yet. So I can't argue with anything that's going on.
Almost $1,000 since last year. Over $1,000.
No, it might have. Honestly, hold on. Before we wrap it up, let me find a value.
But remember, Eternal Stray, E-Rock also dropped.
That's right. So, I would have busted a blood vessel 2 years ago. I'm not going to front. But but Game Pass is just looking ridiculous at this point. It's not even fucking spring yet.
It's no longer the welfare pass. It's the unstoppable pass right now.
Facts. Facts.
Like our boy Sega Mega Man always said, the welfare pass.
Yeah.
That was funny. All right, guys. We have a great night. Have a great rest of y'all week. Forza Horizon currently has 40 million players as of January 2025. That motherfucker better be 50 million when that shit hit PlayStation. I'm gonna clown your ass. But with that, guys, have a great night. Have a great rest of the week, and we are out.
Peace. Take care, guys.